2 seconds, guys. Tell me if you can hear me. I'll read the comments now. Quite tricky doing it on this bloody laptop, but I'm trying. Don't forget to comment, guys. Geez, it's been a good few weeks. I've been about a month. I've been off YouTube. Needed a break anyway. So 2 seconds, guys. I'll read the comments now. I'll get my comment window open. And we can do it. Right. Comments up. Let me share into this group chat, guys. Right. So Eddie announced today the boxing's back. And obviously that's like amazing if you're a huge fan of boxing like me. So I'm gonna break all these cards and drag into the Cheeseman Brer to White Pavek and Selby Cambosis, Ritson Vasquez. They're separate entity cards. I have got tickets actually for Selby Cambosis. 2 of the fights on that card was proposed and now on these Matchroom Fight Camp cards. So I'll get into and break them down. Don't forget to comment, guys. Tell me what you think of the fights as well. If you know boxing, tell me what you think of the fights. So Eggton and Cheeseman now we can break down the fights. This is probably this and the obviously White Pavek, which is a pay-per-view. And I'll have a little pay-per-view rant later. Not particularly. I'll pay for it, no problem. But I am sick of these so-called hardcores who just complain about paying for it. If you don't want to pay, don't pay it at the end of the day. Not super excited by any. Yeah, I get you, bro. I get you. So, well, I'll talk about the card now. So, we'll start with bottom, Dalton Smith and Bennett. Dalton Smith, I believe, is about 5-0. I want to say 5-0, 6-0, something like that. Yeah, 5-0. Taking a step up against Bennett, who's 9-1. Previously lost on points. And Dalton Smith is trained by his father, Grant Smith. Good pair, bro. I think Dalton would win it, but it's quite early to take a step up. But guys, if you understand, these fights are 50-50, they gotta step up. Fabio Wardley versus Villili. Intriguing fight. I do think Wardley will stop him mid to late rounds. I want to say 4 or 5. Wardley 8-0 with 7 knockouts. Decent puncher, obviously at low level. Rated 11 from Box Rec Beer in Britain. His last fight was on the White Rivas card last year, so he's been out the ring for a year. Villili, I believe, has been in it more recently. So yeah, it says we're at the end of White Povetkin is just a high risk, low reward fight to me. At this stage, yeah, and I'll break it down in later on. Povetkin obviously coming off a draw with Michael Hunter, you know. I thought Hunter edged. I had a 7-5, 115, 113. Close fight either way, but it depends what you prefer. If you prefer Povetkin's work in the middle rounds, do you prefer Hunter coming forward and engaging and trying to push for fight? It's really what you prefer now. So 10 3-minute rounds for the English heavyweight title, Wardley and Vallily. Vallily, see, Vallily was chucked in at 8-0 against Breedis at cruiserweight. I don't know what was the intelligence behind that, to be honest. I really don't, but it's whatever you think, innit? Breedis knocked him out in 3. And then his second loss came to Craig Glover in about 7 or 8. And the fight before that, which is the first time I've seen Vallily, was against Iqbal, I think, the Indian or something. British Indian or something. And after 7 or 8, I had him up. I had him in a decent lead, you know, and then out of nowhere, he just fouls for no reason. And to me, that shows he's mentally. Is something wrong with mentally, like, and I didn't see no reason to foul, and he just kind of lapsed in that fight. And when Glover knocked him out in 7 or 8, and obviously we know Glover lost to Billam Smith, in Billam Smith's last fight, I believe. So yeah, that's our fight. But my prediction is broadly mid, so mid rounds 4 to 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if he took him out early. But I haven't seen Vallily at heavyweight yet, see, so apparently he's weighing in the mid 220s. So we'll see. Jordan Gill and Reece Bellotti, cracking fight. Jordan Gill obviously losing to oh shit, how did he lose to now? Name's gone for me. I'll get up here in front of me anyway. Tinoco, that's one. Tinoco, obviously. Tinoco obviously lost to Joe Cordina later on that year because Joe Cordina dropped super feather. Tinoco went up from feather. Gill was a decent fighter, you know. Well, he had surprising. I don't want to say obviously he's not a big hitter, but he's got that underrated power that you should always like. Just because he got 7 knockouts of the 24 wins, don't come forward and think, oh, you could walk for him. And Reece Bellotti, 14 and 3. I thought he had more fights than that, to be honest. Can crack with 12 knockouts. He lost to Ryan Doyle on the Watkins or Coley card. I remember that because I was midweek. It was a midweek fight and I was revising for my first lot of exams. Ryan Walsh he lost to and that was a good close fight. That was again on the White Chisel card. And then I admittedly haven't seen that fight. On the Turkey McCarthy undercard, I literally only watched the main event of that. So a decent fight. I'd say Gill can take it on points, but I didn't realize he had 3 losses, and I didn't realize that he only had 17 fights. I thought he was about 27 fights, but I do think Gill will take it. But when I look at Bellotti's career, and I think it's been poorly managed. I think he lost to Ryan Douglas, stopped in 5. When he has one fight in the interim, when he gets chucked in with Ryan Walsh. Ryan Walsh is a decent fighter. You know, so right. Why is Ryan Walsh rated ninth in the world on BoxRec? The rankings and that really don't make sense. So yeah, I think Gil beat him on points. Going on about a fight way too long. Next we have Gavin Gwynn and James Tennyson. Now Gavin Gwynn is quite local. He lives not far down the road from me. Treeharris, so I'd say a couple of miles away from me. Not too far. Versus Tennyson. Now Tennyson can crack. And I watched his fight against Craig Evans. And Craig Evans tried, but Tennyson was beating the hell out of him. I think Tennyson will take this on points or late stoppage. I was talking about this to my father earlier, because my father knows his Gavin Gwynn's family, more so my brother, and I honestly think that despite Gavin Gwynn being tough, he did show his toughness against Codina. Codina isn't the big puncher. Certainly a lightweight anyway. I don't know about super feather. We've only seen him at one fight ever. But I do think Tennyson will either late stoppage or beat Gwynn on points. I just think Gwynn's one of those fighters where he's good and he's technically good enough, but sometimes you need that power to match. With Aaron, I think he had 2 knockouts and 12 wins. I'm sure he had a first round knockout at the fight back after Codina. You know, but like, I just think that Tennyson late stoppage or points. We haven't seen Gwynn come up against a deep big puncher, so yeah. And then the last fight, which has been like joked about, you could say, in the boxing fraternity, taking a mick out of Ted Cheeseman fighting Eggington. Eggington versus Cheeseman. Eggington went and beat that guy in Italy. His name I can't pronounce. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his name. I know his name was Orlando. He went out and beat him. And let's not forget, guys, Cheeseman had a terrible 2019 in a way. He lost to Garcia in a one-sided fight. Garcia just was too good for him and too experienced. The draw against Kieran Conway. Now, I haven't really scored that fight, but I could tell it was a close fight. I wouldn't score another time. And then Scott Fitzgerald, which I had 7-5, but it could easily been a draw, like 6-6, but it was another close fight. He's been unlucky in the Kieran Conway Fitzgerald fights. Not to say that none of us deserved the victory, but 2 close fights, I can understand there's more than. But when you look at it, it's a loss. He is now 15-2-1. And to think at this time, 18 months ago, he was talked about as potentially one of the best super welters in. Because let's be honest, nobody thought of Fitzgerald. Well, I'm not saying nobody, but Fitzgerald wasn't seen. He didn't have a profile of Fowler and Cheeseman had. When he's came and kind of sweep the division in a way, he's taken out 2 big names in Cheeseman and Fowler. And on a note about Fitzgerald, I don't think he's necessarily done at the domestic level. He can move on if he wants. I would like to see both, well, more of a Fowler rematch. I'm going a bit off topic now. I'm not particularly bothered about Cheeseman for the rematch. But I think, and he's got fights such as I think Kieran Conway deserves another shot at British, or at least if Fitzgerald vacates, Conway can take Conway's on the card on another matchroom card. I think is week 3. But I think Ted Cheeseman could stop Eggington late. But I wouldn't put money on it because even at domestic level, we've seen that Cheeseman can't, isn't, I'm not saying he can't punch, but he's not a knockout person at domestic level. But Eggington hasn't hasn't got the best of chins, I'd say. But McQueen, your loss on what card was on him? Yukon and shit Vargas, yeah. I think that, you know, that was bad. So I do think Ted Cheeseman won. So I'm going for Cheeseman, Tennyson, Gill, Wardley, and Smith. Alright, week 2. Let's get on to it. Harper Jonas, this card really, if he tosses, it really disappoints me because you gotta take into fact, you know, obviously with a pandemic we can't get as many good fights on as we can. So we got Hopey Price. Hopey Price's opponent has been confirmed yet. I think it's good to get him on one of these cards. Then we got Akib Fiaz and Kane Bacon. Now, admittedly, I don't know much about any of these. I think Akib Fiaz hasn't long been signed with Matchroom, I want to say. But I haven't seen much of him. He's 5-0 with no knockouts. Kane Bacon, I'm sure, got knocked out by Conor Benn. Yeah. Back when. So, I think when I'm looking at his record beer, I'm seeing a guy who beat a journeyman by 1 point in the 4-rounder. I'm not a fan of 4-rounders. I think you should go straight to the 6-rounders. He's gone 6 rounds once, so maybe V8 might. I'm not going to say it's a challenge, but yeah, I just think Aki was probably going to win on points, but I haven't seen much of him to tell you any details. Fowler and Harper, I think this fight may play out similar to his fight with what's his name, that domestic one. Why he fought not long ago. It could have been the fight before the African. What's his name? Scarf or someone. I think that he could. Apparently, Adam Harper comes forward. I haven't seen much of him either. He lost to Michael Zarafa over 12, which isn't bad considering he was 8-0 when he versed him. I mean, Zarafa put in a decent performance against, yeah, an underpar Kelbrook, but nevertheless, you know, and he did beat Jeff Horn, didn't he? He did lose after it, but you know. So Adam Harper versus Anthony Fowler is another case of a guy who hasn't got much knockout power. Scarf doesn't punch. So is Harper. So I think that Fowler may try and put it on him, and he might just try and settle for points loss. Billam Smith and Toley. Toley is another Welsh lad. I think he's from Cardiff, is he? Yeah. Actually, he has fought at light heavy, so it even less fills me with confidence. 6 knockouts of 14. I think Billam Smith will knock him out. Probably, I want to say early. To be honest, not that I don't rate Nathan Toley, but I just think it's a severe step up from, frankly, the journeyman. Plus, he's light heavy, so I think he gets stopped early. Terry Harper and Jonas. Do you know what? I'd edge with Terry Harper, but Jonas, I'd never rule out. I'm not gonna go the PC approach. Shout out Wales. I'm not gonna go the PC approach. I do not enjoy women's boxing. Most of it's boring. hardly any knockouts. He goes to points most of the time. WBC title, obviously. Harper won against Wallstrom, whatever her name is. So I'll edge with Harper, but I can never rule Jonas out. But I'll go through it again. I'll go through who I think's gonna win all these. Obviously, Price. They're gonna chuck him in against Journeyman probably. Aki Vias, Fowler, Willem Smith. And I'm gonna go with Harper, but I never rule out Tasha Jonas. Never rule her out. So on to week 3 fight nights. Guys, I got tickets. Selby Cambosis. I'm disappointed they've taken 2 of the fights off, so it's not looking good. The 2 of the fights are in the fight camp: Gavin Gwynn, Tennyson, and Tony himself. Right. This card is probably the most disappointing, but it is probably the most disappointing, but I'm actually really intrigued with our main event. So we got John Doherty. 8 wins, 6 knockouts, I believe. He fought Van Pochten, or whatever his name is, that Journeyman who's quite not famous, but I've seen a few interviews with him on that Frampton show. I don't know what the other guy's called now. Well, show Carl Frampton does. So Zelfa Barrett and Eric Donovan. Now Barrett, formerly with Frank Warren, signed with Eddie. The Commonwealth title. Now where's the Commonwealth title at Thing Beer? Eric Donovan 12-0, 7 knockouts. Ireland. I haven't seen him. Is he? No, I admittedly am. He's versed Jose Aguilar. Aguilar versus Dante Dixon. I watched that fight. Reese Edwards, a local lad. I'm trying. Who did he fight? I'm trying to think of who he fought, but I have seen Aguilar. Reasonably durable, but you know. But I haven't watched Eric Donovan, so I can't really make a judgment of that. Kieran Conway and Mansouri, and I think I like Kieran Conway. Like I think he's alright. Decent boxer, tall for a division number. I think 6'1", isn't he? Which is tall for a super welter. Super welters, you know, all these tall guys. We literally tall guys who are skinnier so they can make their weight. You know, most super welterweights are taller than middleweights. No, only really. They just feel they have less body fat, which allows them to make 154. Kieran Conway versus Mansouri. I'm gonna go with Conway. I think Kieran Conway deserves another shot at British, like I said. Good fight with Cheeseman. I think he deserves another shot, and that is a British title eliminator, I believe Eddie said. Courtney versus Rachel Ball. As I said, I'm not a fan of women's boxing, but Courtney looks alright. Eight 2-minute rounds, and it's 2 minutes for women, so not interested in that fight. And I like this main event, Felix Cash and Jason Welborn. I do like that fight. I've been saying for the last year after he beat that African for the Commonwealth the first time round that he should take a step up. I think he should start taking a step up, not try and take on domestic people. And Jason Welborn, who is a super welter, he versus Jarrett Hurd in our first Wilder Fury card. 24-8, I think he is, off the top of my head. Felix Cash, what's he now, 12-0? Or am I just thinking on my head? So that's a cracking main event, but the rest of our card is quite disappointing. No, I did see Dave Allen actually go offered. Is on Instagram earlier. I think he got offered to take on probably Bacoli or something. I think that's the only right, either Bacoli or Wardley. He probably got offered. Looking in between the lines, I think both fights don't make sense for him. But because I love him so much, I just look at a managerial standpoint now. He's the guy. He's the guy I will actually arse like him. Right, so there's one fight still to be announced on this card. It's pay-per-view, so you expect it to be better, obviously. You got Dillian White and Povetkin. Cracking fight. I think Povetkin obviously is on the slide. I think he's been on a slide since 2017, personally. I'm obviously losing to Joshua in 7. That pay-per-view was awful. I could rant about pay-per-view all along, like I'm gonna moan about people later on moaning about paying for pay-per-views, but I actually felt robbed that night. Coley and Askin was the most disgraceful fight I've ever seen. Worse than Coley and Chamberlain. Worse than Lewis Askin one day. Any other holding? Klitschko Povetkin was bad, like really, really bad. So Povetkin been on side for a while. I think that Price fight, even though Price is a huge puncher, told me quite a bit about Povetkin. Now he's vulnerable to that left hook. He's vulnerable to the punch. That's also his best punch and White's best punch. So taller fighters can give a left hook on him. So White could knock him out, but I think it'll be a war. I think it'll be a great fight. Then Povetkin would be easily the #1 name on his resume. In terms of White's resume at the moment, I'd say Parker's the best, Rivas is second, Chisora 1 and 2. Oh yeah, Helenius, because he's come. I always forget about Helenius Konaki. Because I forget about it because Helenius hurt White in the second round, didn't he? And made his eyes roll back. Shout out for Bacoli. I'll go on to him now. Yeah. He made his eyes roll back in the second round, didn't he? And he looked hurt. And I was watching Hartman's video on White's punch resistance, and I did tend to agree that his punch resistance is less than it was before that war with Joshua. So I'd edge to White. I'd never rule Povetkin out, and I think it's a cracking fight. I'm not even gonna mention Katie Taylor because I'm sick of Sky Sports and Eddie and Adam Smith slicking her so much. Probably, I think it's either gonna be the Serrano fight, but I don't know what's happening, bro. Because 1 minute they're saying it's on, 1 minute saying it's off. So I'm gonna wait. If not Serrano, obviously I want the Persoon rematch. Even though Persona showed us what she can make super feather, she came in for the Katie Taylor fight dead on super feather. Now the women are weird. The women, I don't know if it's to do with them, but when I watch women's boxing, none of them seem like they can come on weight tidy. Persoon comes in on 131 for 132 most of the lightweight title fights she had. It's many weights I've seen that are weird with their bloody weights anyway. So Martin Bacoli and Kuzmin, now I talked boxing group chat, shout out by Stable Central, you know. Gotta shout out the group chat, haven't we? I think this is a cracking fight, and we were talking about fights where, like, you know, with guys outside the top 15, top 20, were cracking like 50-50. Like, I think you could put Bakoli in with Hughie Fury. Let me go and box right now, and I'd say you I'd put Bakoli in with right now. And I'm trying to think of realistic, like I could say Brazil, but Brazil wouldn't see that as a fight. And stuff like that. I think Bakoli's just under our level at the moment. But yeah. So Sergey Kuzmin obviously lost to Hunter, which is no shame. No shame at all. Bakoli, Hughie Fury, Jennings. I would like to see Jennings and Bakoli. Like, Jennings likes to move a bit, doesn't he? I want to see how he copes with that. Caballel. I could go down the whole rankings here. Caballel Bakoli would be a good fight for the European title. I don't know if he's dropped it now of it or not. Got David Price. That would be a cracking fight, Pricey and Bakoli. Both bang. They both bang. Do you know what, guys? When I look at fights for Bakoli, have you seen much of Clay Congo, bro? I'll go on about that fight now, but talk about. I'll go back to Bakoli actually. Congo, I've seen him against Sir John Bromo, and I was on the white and brown. These ages ago, that does. And look, you haven't had a fight since April 2019. I seen him against Sir John Bromo, and Sir John Bromo's like a really short, stocky guy. 5'3", and he comes in about 154 usually. And I seen him against Ambromo, and Ambromo's like a decently tough journeyman, only been stopped twice by Marcus Morrison, who came in 8 more pounds than him, so a 5'3" guy against a big super middle. Or middle. I thought he's super middle. Oh. So he's been stopped by Marcus Morrison. Who else did he get stopped by him? I hate these adverts on. You want the points for Jack Flatley? Who else did he get stopped by him? Can't find out. Oh, Denzel Bentley. Who can punch? Yes, Chris Congo. He's from what I remember, he was like a decently tall welterweight, and he long arms, sticks behind his boxing usually. And Luke Clay's more of the average welterweight size. And as you can see, Congo's gone to points quite a bit, even with low level. He's a guy who sticks behind his boxing, doesn't really put much power in his punches. So he could box Clay purely because Clay's shorter than him. And Clay's lost on decision before. So I think that deal out jab him, obviously being a tall guy, I just think it'll be a boxing match. On back to Bakoli, by the way. That fight with David Price, I just came in my mind. I just felt disgusting. Like I would be a sick matchmaker, guys. I'm not even being funny. That fight with Pricey, both matchroom. There's no problem making that. Who would I put him in with? Who would I put him in with when I look at BoxRec rankings? Anyone outside of Ustinov would be a shout. 35-4. Big guy. Slow as fuck, but you know, big guy, 6'8", 20 stone, 280 pounds from Newcombe pounds. Brazil versus Eva and Petroleum Price. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I just don't think Brazil would fight them because it doesn't make much sense to him. I really do think that if he fights Bakoli, then, and I was talking about it briefly in the group chat last night, I think when you fight Bakoli, who's coming up in the ranks, and Brazil, who's a two-time former heavyweight champion, no, I wish, former heavyweight title content. Oh, why is my brain fried tonight then? So he's had 2 shots on title. I think that it wouldn't make sense for Brazil, and when you take on up and coming guys when you're already a top 20, 25 guy, I think mentally you just resigning yourself to be an opponent for someone. I think, and that's why I hate seeing decent fighters end up with journeyman at the end of their career. So I think he'd be residing plus the PBC factor. And I had a thought when I was talking in the group chat, I was like, PBC could make loads of sick matchups. I would like to see Brazil Martin Kownacki, those 3. Ortiz and Ruiz is in that mix as well. That Ortiz Ruiz fight is really good, I think. So White, I'd edge on White for Povetkin. Bakoli beats Kuzmin, I think. I think Kuzmin, although I don't want to say that flippantly, I'm saying that like I don't think Kuzmin has a chance. I think Kuzmin has a chance, but an outside chance. Like Kuzmin shown he was prone to being outboxed massively against Hunter, who to be fair is a quick guy and he moved up from cruiser. When I look at this bureau, I'm concerned Hunter's just he could have a mental instability, Hunter, because I look at him, right, he came and fought Bakoli at 213. I'm looking at BoxRec, and in his last fight against Povetkin, 226. Could he just have a mental block in which he thinks he needs to add size to compete with his heavyweights? Obviously, the Povetkin fight was the most best performance, but I think Povetkin's past it. So does he have a mental block where he thinks he needs to add size? Like if he came in against a big name, 230 plus, I think that's to his disadvantage. He needs to come in speedy, like the low 220s. Because it was so much easier 10, 15 years ago to move up from cruiserweight. Bear in mind the cruiserweight limit was lower, mind. But like all the big heavyweights were 220, 230. You had John Ruiz, 230s. You had Brewster. You had Chris Bird. You know, none of those guys were big. And let's be honest, Chris Bird shown at the end of his career he could make like heavy, although I think that was a wrong move for him. But they've gone through these 4 weeks of fight camp. I think week 1 and week 4 is brilliant. Well, not brilliant, but like the best out of a worse situation. Week 3 is disappointing, really disappointing. You know, yeah. Week 3 is disappointing, but I do like the obviously I like the Wellbone cash fight. Harper and Jonas disappointing, but what could we expect? Boxing is back, and Frankie Warren, Queensbury. I'm gonna type in Queensbury because I don't know Queensbury promotions. I admit I watch a lot more Sky than BT because the BT fucking commentary does my head in. Mainly. And the fact that Frank Warren has a much more limited stable. Disappointing. Frank Warren sorry guys, I'm just checking if I thought the stream lagged in because it took so long. Upcoming event. Click there. Now I seen Brad Foster because he fought the same night as Fury and Wilder 2, didn't he? That was on ITV. I think Lerone Richards and Umar Sadiq is a cracking fight. Umar Sadiq beat him formerly undefeated Cody Davis. Brad Foster was quite impressive last time against Lucian Reed. Cash. How do you say it? Cash? Because Anthony, whatever his name is, versus Woodstock. It's a decent fight. But I am really impressed by Lerone Richards against Sadiq. So that's July 10th, so that's 2 weeks today. So, yeah, obviously, I am not. I have no. I don't care what anyone says. I do over Warren, and you can call me a macho fanboy. It's up to you what you want to call me. I don't care. I just think he has a much deeper stable, and for me, he can make better fights. Like only that Richard Sadiq fight really I like, to be honest. So boxing is back, guys. I am excited. I'm like a child at Christmas, honestly. Anything else? I'll tell you what, we're going boxing soon. We'll be like boxing talk Friday while we are there, and then we'll end the stream in a bit. Jason Maloney. Guys, I've been so knackered these last few weeks trying to move house that I haven't had time to watch these ESPN cards, to be honest. Baranchuk suffers rib injury. So, I actually like that fight. Any of these ESPN cards I have no right to discuss. Match of fight camp. Pulev, Joshua targeted for November. When they announced that that fight was terms agreed, it's all bollocks, guys. I think that Usyk could give Joshua problems, even though he's not the he's not the biggest and he can't punch. I do think he give him problems skill for skill. And then you go Wilder, who obviously is generationally a big puncher, could give Fury problems in the third fight, even though Fury battered him with a second. He's got that much power, you could never rule him out. MTK's Golden Contract finals targeted for late August. Even though I'm not a massive fan of MTK, I think most of MTK fighters are guys who literally, no offense, but like decent records, like decent undefeated records, but most from compounds. That Davis McKenna final, even though McKenna, it should be Davis Mamoon. You know, that's a great fight. Ryan Walsh and Dickens, I think, is an excellent fight. And Walsh, I think if Walsh beats him, he's looking to move on to try and get a title shot, maybe. I really don't understand if he's rated top 10 on BoxRec, mind. So both cracking fights. But like the heavyweights, I think Isaiah Burton's a favourite. I like Liam Conway. I don't know. I think. Let me just retract that statement slightly. I like Liam Conway as a person. I think he seems tidy, you know. As a boxer, obviously he got whacked by Buatsi in a couple of rounds. He had that absolute war with Stephen Ward. Obviously Stephen Ward, we know now, was struggling to make the weight. So yeah, you could do Davis McKenna and Walsh Dickens behind closed doors. Like I say, be a light heavyweights is a bit longer because you got Blotniks, who's Austrian, I believe. Serge Michel's French, I think. I think that MTK Golden Contract is actually much better than I thought. Sergio Martinez returning. What the fuck? I mean, we've all seen what that fight was like with Cotto, and Cotto was not even a 160 fighter. He was a 140, 147 fighter, wasn't he? Yeah, guys, if you're still watching, tell me what you want me to do. Boxing related. Do you want me to go on prospects? Do you want me to go on Ring Mag? Minus the judging, yeah. Van Moon fight. What do I have here? 90, 97, 93, 98, 92 to Moon. Like, I didn't mind McKenna's back for trying to let me vent about my fight bar for a second. Yeah, we'll talk about Junior Fall. We had a good discussion before last night, didn't we? But I think he should fight Dempsey McKean. And the winner fights Parker, even though personally, as a managerial standpoint, Parker shouldn't take it. Eddie needs to get. Junior Fall's 30, is he? Jeez, right, BoxRec. BoxRec. I've seen Junior Fall, I think, once or twice. 19-0 with 10 knockouts. Right, he fought Devin Vargas. Vargas is a big guy, isn't he? You talked about him versus Parker and stuff because I won. Yeah. Why not? Obviously, personally, I think. Obviously, I think he should fight McKean. Let me log in so I can find my weight. It bugs me when I can't see the weights now. Right. 267, jeez. Don't think he was that big. I thought he was always like mid-50s guy or high 40s. So he could fight for #1 Australian because Lucas Brown doesn't even deserve to be mentioned. Even my guy Dave beat him. Right, so New Zealand, we go to Australia now. So, far as a 19-0 prospect, guys, if you're watching them and you're not commenting, where's Australia? So, far as a 19-0 prospect who's with Lou DiBella, and he Dempsey McKean is an 18-0 unbeaten guy in Australia. I'm not sure what his promotional outfit is. They're both big heavyweights, 6'6" versus 6'5". McKean's a bit skinnier, weighing. Beat Anthony Fowler twice, jeez. I'm joking. That's concerning. Why did he rematch him when he knocked him out the first time? Was it dodgy knockout or something? Admitted I haven't seen McKean, but he beat Jonathan Rice, who is at this stage quite a beast. What was I want to say he's getting to be a beast at this stage. So I think this is crack if I do this is like the Oceana Eliminator. Dempsey McKean's also WBO ranked, isn't he? That's the thing I haven't thought about. He's WBO ranked, I'm sure. So where's his old ranking beer? I think these two should fight before Parker. I think Parker. If I was Parker, I wouldn't fight them. Because I disagree with top 10 guys always wanting to fight undefeated professionals, because yeah, McKean's 13th, I was 6th. When a winner could fight second round Parker. So you go like a WBO Oceania tournament. Some of the guys in these rankings are awful. Not awful to be disrespectful, but bloody hell. The ABS rankings, oh no, who was that guy who I actually thought that Dave could have a good go at? Right, I've never seen Evgeny Romanov. I don't know how to, so that's the guy that Dave can get the WBO ranking with. No, I'm joking. Yeah, you have many like WBO series, bro. WBC, got the strongest top 15. Like all those guys are good. I disagree with putting Hugovic 8th, see, and Dubois 7th. I think Chucking the 10 and out prospect 8th. I disagree with personally. Zhang, Romanov is a guy still wild in the arm, just. True. It's cruiserweight, wasn't it? Well, I'm heavyweight, but you know what I mean. Not super heavyweight. I just call it cruiserweight. I really do apologise. So yeah, guys, I really disagree with some of these rankings, but it is what it is. Charles Martin. Charles Martin, IBF, because he beat Washington. Washington's another one of those PBC guys we can make a matchup with you with with well he's already fought for wait bro back up 14 for who? IBF. IBF. Yeah. Pretty. That would be a good fight. Fawn Wallin. Or Wallin. big up IBF. Yoka 7-0. Don't know why he's 10th. Right, Otto Wallin, right? Even though Fury went at his best that night. I would put him in with a lot of these guys. I think Wallin Caballero, Wallin Schwartz. I wouldn't put him in with any of probably the top. I'd actually the easiest fight for him could be Pulev. Actually, I'm not even joking. I do rate Wallin's technical ability, and he did hurt Fury of the end of that fight. And let's not forget. IBF 10 to 15. Zhang beat who did he beat last time now? The name's in the back of my mind because I think Dave could be chucked in. Rudenko. I think Dave could be chucked in. I think Dave could be chucked in because Rudenko's resigned to being an opponent now. And he's got a decent record. Like 30s. Is he 37-5? Or is he 27-5? Trevor Bryan. Is he actually the mandatory for AJ? I thought what's his name was WBA. Have I did audio because I thought Ananias was mandatory now. Mad. Fraser Kennel still number 15. Why? And just why? Kuzmin 13. WBA. Oh shit, he's with Don King. Do you know what? I forget Don King's still in the sport sometimes. Because how old is he now? To be fair, when I make that point though, you could say why is Bob Arum still in it, but Bren Bob Arum's the least relevant. It's like the top 4 promoters are probably PBC, LA, man. Then you got ESPN. So then you got PBC, ESPN top rank. Number 2 ones in the UK, really. Yeah, I can't think of any other major promotion outfits. I really can't. Golden Boy, shit, yeah. I don't class Golden Boy as Big C. I think, honestly, right, this might be controversial, but I'm gonna say as is. I think Golden Boy literally only got Ryan Garcia and Canelo. Now Canelo's the biggest name in the sport, arguably. But I think outside Ryan Garcia and Canelo, who do they have outside them? Let's be honest. Like, I really don't see it outside of them two. I can't think of anyone outside them two, Viggo. Jaime Munguia. But when I don't think Jaime Munguia is anywhere as big as them two. I thought Munguia had a cracking fight with Gary or Spike O'Sullivan, whatever you want to call him. But I think I'm middleweight. Then he got hurt with by Spike O'Sullivan, I think. I think that, Munguia would get found out against a top middleweight like Canelo, but Bruno, I think can Canelo make middleweight now? I think like, oh yeah. I understand he's a good fighter, but when you look at the social status and the cash cows, like I'm middleweight. I think he could get found out, even though he's a decent puncher. Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz had a good cracking fight with Tam Farm. I thought that was a good fight. Some fights you just appreciate for pure boxing, like not all the fights have to be wars. Like I appreciated Joshua Ruiz too. Even though the casuals found it boring, like a lot of people on my Snapchat were saying oh, it was a boring fight, why did I pay for that? Ruiz Jr. know what he's possible next. That was very juicy. Oh yeah. I'm not saying they're not, but I wouldn't ever say that. But when you're talking about actually I don't even know why you mentioned Ryan Garcia, because I'm just gonna hypocrite. I'm just gonna go back to what I said. Like when you talk about elite level fighters, Ryan Garcia could be elite level fighter, but I dislike him. I hate Ryan Garcia. I think his ego is getting too big for him now, and he's just a social media show off. Josh was back of the too. Nah, funny. What was our top story, bro? Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko. He is fast, right? Like when Garcia is fast and he's a good fighter, but when I see ego, like a lot of prospects / contenders don't get paid 200k a fight, Just take your ego away from you and take what you can at the end of the day. I love pay-per-view nights. They're just like one of the best nights of my life. I love pay-per-views. I literally gear myself up for Oscar De La Hoya met his white weaves with Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares. 3 division champ. But and we can find out how probably good Ryan Garcia is. Apparently Linares has 2 knockouts. Very wrong. Good misprint. 27 knockouts, yeah, only. Teofimo, yeah, Teofimo is a good fighter. Personally, when I'm looking at this moment in time, like right now, I just want to see boxing back. Like I don't mind waiting for the massive fights. Virgil Ortiz Jr. More than 200k, probably 250. Virgil Ortiz against Sam Vargas. Good fight. That's a good stage for Ortiz. I mean, Sam Vargas giving him Yukon problems. Yukon, less the better. Big too much of a jump. Yeah, I don't know why he moved up to 140. Linares. The super welterweights would have been too good for him anyway, and we unluckily got found out early against Cano, Cesar Cano. Why is my phone keep falling on? Because I want to read these comments. Same time. Yeah, I think Ryan Garcia needs to put his ego aside. Mind you, he is massive on social media. He's got 6 or 7 million followers. It does do my head in. I have commented once or twice. Stop showing off and show it in the ring. Ugas and Crawford out of luck. I read this earlier. And Ugas is gonna go for WBA route now because Besputin who fought Butanev on the Monaco card. That was main event, wasn't it? I'm sure that was main event. I tend to call it the Ustinov Hunter card because that was the best fight by far on the night. No, it weren't Ustinov Hunter. Niall, what you doing? Ustinov Hunter was the year before, wasn't it? I remember Joe Cadena being on the card actually. Right. So WBA regular for Ugas. Ugas 25-4. I haven't watched it back, but I thought he beat Port over time. It was a close fight. It's these close fights, isn't it? Like, I might have a different opinion to you, or we might have the same. It's literally like, close. That's what a close fight is, it's swing rounds. So WBA, Ugas 1, Donny Garcia 2 was fighting Spence, Mikey Garcia 3, Mestre 4, Jamal James 5, and Mestre and Jamal James could have a title shot against Ugas, if they want. I haven't viewed the Mestre, I've viewed the Jamal James. Mikey Garcia, they have sounded like a broken record, yeah. I have to agree. I don't think Mikey has a place at 147, at least at the world stage. He fought a Vargas, who was probably, I don't want to say weight drained because that's a bit too harsh, but he probably was a bit drained fighting a 147. I mean, I seen his face of a weigh-in. He did look really drawn because he went up to 154, didn't he? Yeah, Vargas is irrelevant at this point. Mikey Garcia, the worst thing is Mikey Garcia is a cracking fighter. He went 39-0, didn't he, or something? I think he could go down to 140. I don't know if he could make 35 now. Butayev versus Ugas, yeah, that's what I said, didn't I? What was I on about now? Yeah, Mikey Garcia, he has no place at 147. Go down to 140. Even at 140, could he beat Ramirez and Taylor? I don't think so. I think when I come to think of it, got Mikey Garcia versus Regis. Am I back? Garcia versus Regis. Right, I'm back. Am I back? Yeah, right. Canelo Alves lottery. Yeah, right. Canelo, right, right. So, Canelo was a choice at 60, 68, and 75, didn't he? Right, so 60 I probably wouldn't suggest, by no means. Could he make 60 now? Could he? I mean, coming from 75, I mean, risky. I'd rather him fight the 168 first. There's a lot of good fights could be made at 68. Callum Smith, Billy Joe. Um, Callum Smith, Billy Joe. You obviously go PBC guys of Plant and Benavides. That fight, Plant and Benavides, that's another good fight. I like to see. You go the WBO Billy Joe Saunders who could go back to 60 and make the 68 belt vacant. Yeah, well, I just want to see good fights, bro. Um, See, I think Derevyanchenko. I, I don't know. He had two great fights with Jacobs and Golovkin, but something about Derevyanchenko which I think I wouldn't like to see him against Golovkin. There's Triple G3, which I think Canelo would take easier. No. The reason why I'm not mentioning Charlo and all this is because PBC, and I'm quite realistic. Callum Smith is a real threat. If right, I'm telling you now, Callum Smith, Canelo, Anfield, I would try and make that trip up to Liverpool from Wales. I'd love to make a trip up to Anfield. I cannot understand how his name keeps being mentioned because Saunders has managed not to materialise a big fight since he won the strap. Who's he fought since he beat Andy Lee? Off the top of my head, I can think of Willie Monroe, Akavov. He fight in 27. Oh, I can't think of Billy Joe's resume now. We're going box rugby here. Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Bloody Joe. I'd actually like to see him fight Bank again. Rematch. Middleweight or super. Right. Akavov, Monroe, Lemieux. Lemieux is his best performance he's done in his career. Adamu, which he was coming off the drug ban now, I think. Was there even a ban though? It actually concerned me when he came in at 178, 80. He came in at 180 mostly. Like, the reason why he's gone up to 68 is because he probably couldn't gather fights at 160. And he doesn't keep his weight down. Like, he should never go over 175 for me. He should never go over 175. And a lot of people do say that he's gone up to 168 purely because he can be a bit lazier and train less harder. Like, if you notice, because his weight goes up so much, he comes in dead on 160 when he was in the the middleweight title reign. And then even came in 168 on a dot on his first time he moves up. So the concerning thing is dedication and if he loses to Canelo, he might just sail off in the sunset. And you know, retire there. I wouldn't be surprised because I think his dedication's to be questioned. When he started his career, right, when he was hungry, he never went over 164. And then he came in with Johan Bloy at 173. I think that was the first question mark you could say. What is dedication? I think even in fights for a non-title, you should never go. I think you should always come reasonably close to your normal fight weight anyway. So he came in light heavy against Bloyer. Bit concerning, personally. His weight is concerning though. I think are his performance being impacted by the weight? Probably not. I mean, Lemieux fights suggest otherwise. Big punch on Lemieux when he shut him out, basically. Dashboard. I want to check the comments. Champions, yeah. I get you. I'll check the comments every now and then, so I don't miss them because my phone's just died. Macosera's fight. I mean, that was close at the time. You could probably have it 5-5, 6-4. Saunders. Well, no, man, Cosera's up. And Cosera's unproven. Well, was unproven. And he was a middleweight. No, super welter. 152, bro. He came in at 153 as recent as 2016. So, at middle, he could, never say never. I mean, he mostly fought guys in his country. But I think Saunders realised that I was close and he had to knock him out. He didn't want to take the risk. So Saunders, I think, would get beaten by Canelo on points. Canelo on points is always the safe guess nowadays. Dimitri Bivol, I don't think he's impressed as of late. People used to go on about Bivol more than Beterbiev, and Beterbiev is now seen as the general consensus number one of that division. I would not like to see Canelo fight any of the guys at 175. Because I do think he puts rehydration clauses into the. I'm not sure if Cole ever do rehydration clause. I want to say yeah. I want to say yeah, he did. But yeah, I don't want to see him because the rehydration clause ruin it for me. It's like I believe is another mental thing as well, where you're saying like, oh, it's for me. It's just saying like, I can't beat you with your normal weight, basically, yeah, your normal thing. I completely disagree with rehydration clauses. I really do. But he has learned from the master himself, Floyd Money Mayweather, how to implement things that affect fights, like the rehydration clauses and different gloves. I'm not saying Canelo has done different gloves, but you know, cheeky things like that can swing it his way. Jaime Munguia at 168. Well, just furthermore goes to Canelo's advantage because I don't know how like what Munguia rehydrates to be honest. Right, I'll probably end the stream at half 11, guys, but keep going through the boxing news now. So where was we? We know White fights Povetkin. We don't need to talk about it. We talked about it earlier. Jason Maloney stops Bears. We talked about Ugas and Crawford. I mean, Crawford's really unlucky. I mean, like, we want to see obviously Crawford Spence, and then the winner fight Pacquiao. You know, Pacquiao's past it, despite being a world champion purely because, and even past it, Pacquiao was really good, like really really good. But you know, he's 41 now, and he just make if he undisputed. I mean, 2-weight undisputed, and he can join the likes of Holyfield. Can't think of any 2-weight undisputed other than Holyfield off the top of my head. Next story. I'd like to fight Dylan White and shut him up. You say that, but then you didn't take the offer to fight them, did you? Cause you've had 2 fights with Joshua now. Apparently, anything under 5 million, 10 million is nothing for you now. The more money you have, the more it affects you because you're just gonna get fatter. I'm going in on Ruiz Beer now. He needs to get back hungry. Now he's not champ. When he's champion, he proves he went hungry. Or maybe he just thought he could do the same to Joshua. Maybe he took Joshua too easy. Teixeira Crawford, no Crawford at 154. I disagree with him with the 54. I think he's starting to like the guys are 54. Like if Kell Brook, well, like we all say Kell Brook shouldn't be going to 54. Like he's stuck in the middle of 2 weights, bro. Then you're stuck in the middle of weights, bro. Now, so Crawford shouldn't go to 54 in my opinion. I just don't think it's wise. Ruiz Jr., Ariola, and Brazil as options. I'd put him in with Brazil instead. Definitely, I would KO Orge and London Alves. People really have got turned on Devaney of late. I think he's trying to make noise to get fights. Because Top Rank are dominating lightweight, really, isn't he? Top ranker doing lightweight, like. And let's be honest, guys. Loma and Lopez. I don't see if as undisputed, even though Loma basically has the WBC belt. He doesn't. The winner fights. It's like if Fury fights. If Fury, right? Controversial, but I think if Fury goes to franchise, even though I'd still be excited for him to see Anthony Joshua, with no undisputed, does take a little bit off it. Joyce Dubra, I mean, that's kind of old now, and let's be honest. Good fight though. Does it not say BT box office now? That's interesting. Is it still on box office? Benavidez versus Roma and Alexis Enguero on Showtime. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. That's on Showtime. I thought it'd be on like Fox or something. Roma and Alexis Enguero were took for undefeated of Anthony Sims Jr., who I rated quite highly, to be honest. Jerome Ennis says he wants to welcome Maurice Hooker. Now, I don't know what to think of Maurice Hooker. Obviously, brilliant fighter, but is he Val Elite? I don't know. Joseph Parker would relish a vacant title shot against Usyk if he relinquished it. He wouldn't relinquish it. Back in the gym. Back in the gym. Is he though? Mikey Garcia as Manny versus Old. Failed by Pacquiao calling out everyone. No, Marquez. I'm fed out of Garcia just calling out 147 guys, to be honest. I said Marquez in because I was watching. Oh, one. Was it the second fight? Right, so that's everything to go now. Last see if there's any good scheduled fights. Apart from random cards like this in Tijuana, Mexico, when you have the cab drivers, huh? Right, I think we're gonna end the stream now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully I'll do more streams, I guess. I recognize one name. Who was he thought for I know? Quick look at his irrelevancy before we go. Page Albert Lover. That's the one. That was on like the Facebook thing when I on the. Do you know more, right? That Liverpool card last year was a brilliant card. Mostly because of Fitzgerald and bloody Fowler, to be honest. Right. I'm going to end the stream, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment what videos you'd like to see. I mean, I could make videos of me training of the back garden once I've moved out in about 2 or 3 weeks. Gaming, anything. Just comment what you like, guys. Have a good night. Everyone stay rested, stay safe. Yeah, guys. Thank you for watching.